Hey Pisces, this is Michael with your April 2022 reading. I do hope that this video finds you well and in good spirits, and my deepest apologies that it is coming out late. I've actually been sick for the past week, as you can probably tell from my voice, so bear with me if I cough a little bit. I hope that's not too distracting. I really wanted to get your reading out in particular because April is a very significant month for you. We have a lot that is happening in your sign. We have a conjunction with Neptune and Jupiter, your two ruling planets. And these two planets haven't come together in your sign since 1856. They are both very much in their full power, and they can really create a lot spiritually for us and creatively for us. And it's coming through you, and this is really just a beautiful and blessed month for you. And that's not to say that April won't have its challenges. I'm sure you've already felt some of that, specifically yesterday and today, April 4th and 5th. We've had Mars and Saturn conjunct together, but we even have another thing happening in your sign at the end of the month that's kind of the counterbalance to this rockiness that we've been in. So really exciting energy, really beautiful energy for you Pisces. Before we dive too far into this reading, I just want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It's obviously with all of your support that I'm able to continue creating these videos and putting out these readings, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. For those of you who feel called to support this channel on Patreon, we actually did just have our members-only live stream a couple weeks ago. It was our first one ever, and I had a lot of fun. The people on it really enjoyed it too, and we would love to see some more faces on there. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely consider giving that a try. And of course, all of my links are in the description box for readings, Reiki sessions, and my astrology blog, so you can kind of follow along in that way as well. Anyways, Pisces, the first card that I actually pulled for you for the past was the Magician. And the Magician often speaks of manifestation. It is putting things together, planning for something. And I feel like for a lot of you, you've been in this process of manifesting something, and I think you've actually begun to create the thing you've wanted to create. Maybe some of you are still learning skills or gaining skills with this Page of Pentacles, but I actually read this energy from the Magician to the Page of Pentacles. It's like you're now putting in the work towards something, or you have put in the work towards something, and you actually are about to have some sort of reward, or you're about to see the fruits of your labor. I kind of get the sense too, Pisces, it's like it's been a while since you really felt fully in your magic, or there was something magical that you were working on and it started to become a chore or a skill. So this could be a project that you've started. It's almost like it really excited you at first, but now there's been a lot of focus on getting things done. And that's not to say that it's been soul-sucking necessarily. It's just like there was this initial spark with the Magician. It felt like everything was so perfect, and it was like your life just fell into place, is kind of the sense I'm getting here. And even with the new moon that we had at the start of this month in Aries, with this Sun-Mercury Cazimi on the 2nd, right after, there really was a lot financially for you where there's new beginnings, for new stability. Maybe even having some more security in your life in kind of a general sense, but I actually feel like monetarily there could be something that is starting to fall into place for you with this Page of Pentacles. And it's almost like with the Ace of Cups and Six of Cups is kind of the central energy for you this month, Pisces. It's like you're coming back to this thing, and it feels like the magic of the Magician that we were talking about before. It's like you're coming back into this energy. It's like, I remember why I loved doing this. I remember why this filled me up with so much love. And for some of you, this actually could be a person, specifically a Virgo or a Gemini. There could be something about a relationship, connecting with someone from the past. The Six of Cups is often called the reconciliation card, but it's not necessarily the case where it's like you talk to your ex and suddenly you're back together in a relationship, right? sometimes the most healing conversations we can have are just ones that are about closure, or just kind of seeing a relationship in a different context. So that might be a thematic thing for you as well. Especially since we had the Virgo full moon last month, maybe there is still something where something kind of came to a close. And you got the healing, you got the closure from something from the past. And it feels like it's opening the door for new love. And it feels like there's a relationship that's kind of around you that's very pure and innocent, and it kind of makes you feel like, oh yeah, this is what a relationship is supposed to feel like. And for others of you, this Ace of Cups and Six of Cups really is just you getting back to a very pure essence, connecting to your intuition, connecting with your spirit. And with this Neptune-Jupiter conjunction in your sign, there really is this sense of you coming back to yourself. And this honestly can be one of the most significant months of your life. Like, you could be making very big life-changing decisions this month, or there could be things that are falling into place that dramatically change your life or alter the course of your life, especially if you are a Pisces rising. And this conjunction is happening in your first house. There could be this huge shift for you. I feel like a lot of you are reconnecting with your intuition, and I'm almost getting like past life energy, actually. Some of you could be connecting with other lifetimes even. But I think that's less important than just connecting with your spirit. However that makes sense for you and however that comes through for you. There's this thing about transcendence and spiritual reawakening, and psychic development. These are all really important things that are happening for everyone this month, but most especially for you, Pisces. Arguably, because this is happening in your sign, you're really, really feeling it. Neptune is a very dreamy energy, and it's very diffuse, and Jupiter is very expansive. And for some of you, there could even be this moment of like ego death. It's like you remember the person you really are. You remember this part of yourself that maybe you haven't even felt since childhood. And there's so much love here. There's such a purity here. It's such a beautiful energy. And the change that's happening for you is the King of Wands. Some of you really are coming into kind of this leadership role, or working with energy healing, actually. Sometimes the King of Wands represents working with energy or the healing arts, which frankly makes perfect sense to me, why that would be coming up. And we do also have Mercury in your in your third house, which is your mind, and that's going to be forming a sextile with Neptune on the 24th. So the third house is the conscious mind. Mercury is the conscious mind, and you're receiving a lot of intuitive insights. It's not just around the 12th. We're actually going to be in that energy, I believe, from the 7th to the 16th is when this conjunction between Jupiter and Neptune will be at its peak. Specifically, the 12th will be the most close degree or minute of this conjunction. But there's still a lot of influence that you're feeling this month, and even for the rest of April. It's not just like you're going to feel this energy for a couple days and then it's gone forever. This energy is really shifting something quite profound for you, especially if you do have any placements at 23 degrees in Pisces. That's going to be really important to look at in your natal chart, because this is really going to be lit up. And also looking at where that falls in your natal chart in specific. That's going to be really, really important. And if you don't know where that is or what I'm talking about, I do actually have a link in the description box down below that will draw a natal chart for you, and you can figure out where that 23 degrees of Pisces falls. And you can see if there's any planets. There'll be like a number on a planet. And that feels really important for some of you to look into. And it feels like I feel this beautiful energy. Some of you really are like going into business for yourself, I feel, with the King of Wands. And maybe that's a bit of a challenge for you as well. I think for some of you with the Page of Pentacles, it's like you might underestimate your worth or your ability to do something. Page of Pentacles often wants to work behind the scenes and kind of just do the things, maybe learn some things, but it's not an energy that's usually in the front and center. It's not usually an energy that seeks out the spotlight. But I feel like with the King of Wands, it's like you feel like there's something you need to share with the world. And this feels kind of separate to any sort of relationships that are going on for you. Even though I do feel relationships are also significant for a lot of you this month, specifically with Venus in your sign. Venus actually entered Pisces today on the 5th. And Venus is actually exalted in your sign. And something that's really, really cool is that Venus is coming together with Neptune. And that's going to be happening on the 27th. And why this is really cool to me, Neptune is actually considered the higher octave of Venus. It's closer to the unconditional love, where Venus is the goddess of love. Neptune is almost like Venus or Aphrodite Urania, which is kind of like the heavenly love, the unconditional love. So these two planets are coming together in your sign. And it's a very transcendent experience as well. There's kind of this meeting of like the higher self and the lower self. There's a bridge and the gap for you in many, many ways this month. And I actually want to double check something because I feel like just looking at my notes here. I know next month we have Venus coming together with Jupiter. And that kind of feels like a really nice counterbalance to the Mars-Saturn conjunction we had yesterday, which was kind of a hard energy. So if it feels like April just kind of like hit you really hard, it actually might have hit you in a way that is hard to describe because it was in Aquarius. It was in your 12th house, your subconscious mind. It feels like there's something that's shifting for you. Mars and Saturn are traditionally the malefics in astrology. They challenge us. They give us the tough love. I don't believe that planets are really good or evil in astrology. They just support us in different ways, and sometimes that support feels very challenging. And with Saturn kind of being one of the ruling planets of Aquarius, that's interesting that it came together with the other malefic, Mars. And in May, we're going to have Venus come together with Jupiter, two benefic planets, and the two benefic planets in traditional astrology. And Jupiter is one of the rulers. It's the traditional ruler of Pisces. So we have a really interesting kind of echo going on here. So these are energies to kind of be aware of more towards the end of the month going into May. Obviously, we do have an eclipse at the end of the month, or maybe I shouldn't say obvious. Maybe some of you just don't follow the astrology very closely. But the eclipse, that's going to be in Taurus. Again, it's like the shift that's really happening in your mind. And for some of you, this is representing totally new ways of earning income or deriving a sense of stability. And that's why I feel like for some of you, I wouldn't be surprised if you are coming into something that's financially rewarding for you, but it's also like intrinsically rewarding for you too. And even thinking of like the full moon in Libra, that there could be debts that are ending, cycles that are ending, karmas that are ending, because Libra rules over your 8th house. So there's a lot that you're being absolved from. There's a lot of healing and cleansing and renewal that is happening with the 6 of Cups. And in the future, we have the High Priestess with the 4 of Wands. And it's interesting to me that we went from the magician at the beginning here to the high priestess. And if the magician is about manifestation, then the high priestess really is about sensing the currents. It's not about trying to control anything at all anymore. It's like you realize that even anything you would will into existence isn't necessarily something that you choose. You know, when we talk about free will, what is it that makes us will something in the first place? What is it that makes us desire something in the first place? And I think that's where astrology really kind of comes into play, and other kind of elements that we absorb in from the universe. And with this magician, or with the magician going into the high priestess and the Four of Wands, there is something that you are celebrating. There is something that you are going to be successful at. And I actually read this quite literally. Some of you are going to be doing intuitive work or healing work. So that's very, very interesting to me. And there's even this level, or something about graduating with the Four of Wands, going to the next level spiritually or psychically. I want to pull some animal cards for you as well, Pisces. What is the energy for Pisces? Show us clearly, please. What is the animal wisdom for Pisces? That's too many. Let's try again. What is the animal energy for Pisces? The golden egg. I love, love, love this card for you because it represents the heart chakra, or anahata, the unstruck sound. You're coming back to the heart of something, and maybe coming back into your own heart. You know, there was something about love here, and I don't want to dismiss the importance of self-love with that either. But I feel like there's something about your heart is just being renewed. I feel like some of you may have actually met or are coming into a soulmate relationship, because we have the magician and we have the high priestess with the Four of Wands. Sometimes this actually does signify like a wedding ceremony or a marriage of some kind. That could be literal or that could be figurative. It could be the marriage of two different people or two different energies or two different aspects of yourself that are coming together. There's kind of the masculine and the feminine. So for some of you, there is like a spiritual relationship, but I actually feel like this is occurring inside of yourself first, and then that is being mirrored outside of yourself. You're coming together with a part of yourself that it's almost like you've been looking for someone your whole life, and it's like you're realizing that you are that person, but then there's also literally a relationship that comes in. And the way I kind of think about this, thinking about manifestation and kind of the way the universe reflects everything and is a bit of a hallway of mirrors, it's like when we commit to ourselves, when we love ourselves, that is when the universe will reflect that back to us in another person. So there is something about that there too. And I feel like you are just dialing into something very, very beautiful this month. And maybe you're doing this with another person, like a very special spiritual relationship. I feel like some of you are literally jumping timelines. I know this sounds crazy, but it's like, I see the high priestess here as standing between worlds. And it's like, I feel like you're manifesting by shifting into another timeline potential for yourself. You know, kind of thinking a bit of like quantum physics here, like multiple dimensions, multiple timelines, really infinite timelines. There are timelines where all sorts of different possibilities are playing out, paths you did or didn't take. All of these possibilities exist, and it feels like some of you are going into a timeline where you have quite a bit of success, or you're lining up with a future of success by changing something vibrationally for you. And I think a lot of this is just happening with the energy this month. I want to warn you too, just with the eclipses, it's not generally a good time to do manifestation work. I think a better time for this is going to be towards the middle of the month, around the 12th, working with Neptune and Jupiter. But those planets have been in your sign and they will be in your sign. Jupiter is about to enter into Aries, but I think with the energy of Jupiter still there, and Jupiter will actually come back into your sign. It will retrograde back into your sign, I believe, at the end of summer. You still have a lot of ability to use your magic, to do energy work, to shift things for yourself. And you're doing so from your heart. The way I actually am visually seeing this, it's almost like you are imagining an alternative version of yourself on an alternate timeline, and you are connecting with that version of yourself through your heart chakra. And it's almost like you're shifting there. Your heart is literally the key. And if I'm not mistaken, in the auric layers, the astral body is often depicted as that green layer, and it is associated with the heart chakra. So some of you could be doing some astral travel this month as well, or working in the astral plane. That is something that is coming to me as well. And we have this Scorpio, or scorpion energy, but the scorpionic energy here is what's really coming through, this potency. And this actually feels like it's talking about the Scorpio eclipse next month as well. That's going to be on May 15th. Just kind of a sneak peek here. You might start to feel this energy, especially as we are coming into eclipse season at the end of this month. Some of you might also be sensing that someone has some sort of hostile or maybe not even hostile, but some sort of resentment or some sort of envy or jealousy. You're picking up on that as sort of a secondary energy. But with this Scorpio energy, the full moon in Scorpio, the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, that's going to be falling in your 9th house of travel and kind of higher wisdom, astrology, academia. You could be coming into new information and transmuting something there. I actually just want to clarify what is happening here. What is happening here? Why is the Scorpio card here? Why is Scorpion here? Two of Pentacles, something is shifting. You might be moving. There might be a move that you're planning by the end of the month, or you're thinking about a move or maybe travel. What do we have for Pisces? These cards are very jumpy and very slippery. Hold on. Why is the Scorpion card here? The Hermit and the Hanged Man. Definitely a lot of spiritual wisdom here, gaining different perspectives on things, finding a light within yourself. I'm actually seeing this as some of you are going to be doing some sort of meditation retreat. Like when I think of like spiritual travel in the 9th house, I often think of like retreats. And doing things like that, maybe a Vipassana meditation retreat or something along those lines. We also have Virgo Pisces energy here, which is really interesting. The Hanged Man represents Pisces. The Hermit represents Virgo energy. So there could be something about the Virgo Pisces axes in your chart that is getting lit up right now. And also kind of thinking like something in Virgo season could be happening for you as well. You might be planning something for down the road, and that could be in Virgo season, so the end of August to the end of September. And that might even be something like travel. And Scorpio is about getting to the heart of something, penetrating something with this stinger. Is there any other animal wisdom? Is there any other animal wisdom for Pisces? We have the octopus with the cheetah. So octopus is a very perceptive energy. You know, with these tentacles, octopus actually have kind of brains for each arm. And it's very much about sensing your body. This is really giving me Vipassana vibes, actually, like doing body scans, doing body work, really unlocking the intuitive nature of your body. And the cheetah is about going into a direction that fills you up with energy, fills you up with passion, going towards your destiny. Sometimes octopus is read as sort of a dark energy, and that might resonate for a few of you with the scorpion energy. If you feel like there's someone who's lacking boundaries in your life, you might need to assert boundaries or even distance yourself from somebody. That might be kind of a side effect of your transcending something or elevating to a new level. There might be relationships that aren't working for you anymore, but honestly, I feel like you're coming into relationships. That's the more significant energy I'm picking up for this group. And with the octopus energy, it feels like you're reaching into other timelines. Again, that's something that's coming forward. You're healing something, because I know that octopus can actually regenerate missing arms or missing tentacles. And it feels like you're just very, very perceptive. And again, it's almost like you use this ability to read people, and that somehow helps you fulfill your destiny. I really feel like this group of people, like a lot of you are meant to be psychics or intuitive practitioners or energy healers especially. You're meant to do something that is spiritual. And I feel like there's a lot that's happening this month that's kind of shifting, and it's going to change you in a very profound way. And even if it's not immediately evident, it might be happening kind of beneath the surface, because these energies do go very, very deep. It's like you kind of look back on your life, and it's like April represents this major turning point for you. And that also just makes sense with the eclipse that we're having, the new moon solar eclipse in Taurus. And that could be bringing new information in for you as well, and new ways of seeing things, new perspectives. And if I'm not mistaken, the third house, Gemini energy, is about the hands. So it is working with your hands. Some of you will be reading tarot. Some of you will also be doing Reiki or energy healing, or working with your hands in some way, maybe creatively. But that's kind of coming through. And I feel like those are all the messages I have for you now, Pisces. I hope this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below, like, what this beautiful pure energy is that you're coming back in touch with, or what you want to come back in touch with, what feelings you want to reconnect with again. Very beautiful, almost nostalgic energy this month. I do have all of my links in the description box down below, and if you'd like to look at one of the other videos, maybe for your moon or rising sign, I will have a playlist at the end of this video as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Pisces. Have a very, very happy April, and I'm wishing you all the best.